And those of you who are new, I'm Thomas Garrison, and I've been developing websites and providing SEO for about 25 years. And just about 15, 20 minutes ago, I was in a conversation with Maury, and he talked about SGE. So that's the beginning of this conversation. SGE, I can't remember what it is. It's something, something, something. It's Search Generative Experience. I'm never going to remember that. You can write it down. You probably never remember it either. What it's doing is Google is using AI to provide your search results. Is it overwide? Have you seen it happen? Maybe not. But it's an experiment that Google's running, and they've removed the end time for the experiment. So as Maury was saying, most likely they're going through with this, but it is an experimental stage at this point. What's that mean to you guys? It means when you search something, Google's going to give you the results from what AI says, here's your answer. And then you can actually ask additional questions to get better information about that same search. You're all looking at you're looking at me like I was looking at Maury this morning when he told me. I was like, wait, what? So what does that mean for you guys? And yes, this meeting was about the buyer's journey. That's all kind of part of this. A question came up about, so what pages need to be optimized? Every page. That's even with buyer's journey, there should never have been a time when you thought, okay, I don't have to worry about SEO on that page. You don't have to worry about the expensive part of SEO, which is applying it, making sure the keywords are right, looking at the density, coming back, and keep massaging all the SEO for months in order to get that page up. What I'm hearing about SGE is that it's very possible, and I haven't tried it. I was asked already this morning. I just heard about this 20 minutes ago. So I'm considering that logically, what this is telling me is that you could take a page of your website and shove it into AI and say, optimize that page. Does it work? I don't know. I haven't tried it yet. But logically, that's where Google is kind of coming from. So I'm thinking there should not be any reason that would bother you, that Google would be bothered by your page being optimized by AI. And I'm not sure if they would know that's true. There may be a couple of signs, but I don't know. So with Google's experiment, I am going to start experimenting and come try to get some answers. There are more questions that I have answers right now. And you're all still looking at me like, wait, no, you got to answer all these questions. I'm as new to that as you guys are. But I'm saying, in my mind, this is still taking a lot of the load from learning SEO off the table. It still is telling me that you can use AI, if you do it correctly, to write your pages and do the SEO, create your buyer's journey pages. And Maury, correct me if I'm wrong, but using those three things together with your buyer's journey pages and applying the SEO to the buyer's journey pages, basically you have AI writing everything, so it should make you look like you are an expert in your field. What do you think about that?
As long as you fact check, because AI is not 100% accurate.
Mm-hmm.
So I wouldn't, for the most part, I would fact check everything it produced before I would put it on the site. As we've already seen, it doesn't know everything. It doesn't have access. It's not all seeing to every piece of data. Like
Mm-hmm.
even your health industry, look at how
Yeah, I was just
a
going to
good
say,
example of how unfactual it can be, right?
yes. So I would say that whatever you run through AI, make sure that you read what AI spits out. It's like if because I do health and nutrition, it's another business of mine, but working on websites, and having done it for so many years, I can look through SEO and I can look at the keyword terms that are used and that sort of thing, and the tags, the heading tags, and I can tell you right away whether it's good, bad, or indifferent. Now, getting it to this is good and here's excellent, so you know it's going to really do something, that's different. That's where a lot of work and a lot of time comes in. But the fact that you can just take AI and get at least to a good position or a good SEO on that page could mean that, you know, you hit a page 2 or page 3. If you're getting on page 2 or page 3 on the search results, hopefully it's local because you just can't do it nationally to start with. But that's a good thing because now you know, okay, I'm here. Now I need to just tweak that page to move it higher. That's a whole different subject. So with this information, who's got some questions? Because I know this is a lot and we do want to get to the buyer journey stuff, but has anybody got questions on what I'm looking at so far? No? It's like so much over your head, you're like, okay, never mind. Go to the buyer's journey.
I I have an observation.
Okay.
I've noticed recently that when I'm doing searches for clients that I'm tutoring in SEO, the results are getting muddied even when I specify informational searcher's intent. I'm very specific with the wording. I'm still getting transactional, and I didn't used to. I've noticed that. The emphasis seems to be much more on transactional than informational, even when the intent is informational.
I haven't looked at the search results that way, but from the way that I use Google and most any search engine, I haven't seen a big change. And I have been expecting at some point to see much more specificity to whatever I'm searching in the search results. I'm not yet seeing that. So is that kind of what you're saying too? Just doesn't seem to be providing the results that Google says we're gonna do this, we're gonna do that. Is that what you mean?
It just seems like they're guiding users to buying. That was what I was getting out of it more than before.
Guiding users to what was that last word? You kind of got cut off.
To buying,
To buying? Oh,
to purchase. Right.
I agree. The buyer's journey was specific to telling you website owners that you need these specific pages to walk people through the buyer's journey, the process of here's answering your questions, here's comparing stuff so you could make an informed decision, and then you're going to purchase. That's their whole thing behind the buyer's journey pages, because the results that you do get, and I think that everybody would agree, you can search whatever you want. And you end up going through several sites to find the answer to whatever you searched. And Google has been trying to say, with these changes, if you do a search, then the top 3, top 5 sites should all be providing that information for you, or they get moved back. So that's the part that I'm not seeing yet. I still see the same sites that are up there. And you did it, you did your search a little bit differently, but it still seems like, and that's going back to kind of what Maury was saying, Google is only going to make changes that benefit Google. So whatever changes they are making, and you said that you think that it looks like they're pushing you more towards buying from a website or buying something from Google. And even if you didn't know the answer to that, think about that the next time that you do a search. Is this something that Google wants me to do? What's their benefit from that? Because that's what Google's all about. They're should have Maury tell you, he'd go off on a tangent. But Google only cares about making money for itself. They're not really concerned that your company is going to make money. So it's whatever stuff that they are making changes of, that's their foundation. They already have more money than the entire earth. So I don't know how it could be, how they could want to make any more money. Well, we'll have more on SGE as it comes up, but keep that in the back of your mind that there could be a very big change in the way that your search provides information to you. And Marinello, that could very well have been the SGE that was doing that. Maury, do you know if it's already in place? So if I search in Google, I'm already getting the SGE stuff?
It doesn't sound like it's everywhere. It sounds like it's still in their lab, so it's not everywhere.
Okay.
So you could be impacted on it. You might not. I think it's probably hit and miss at this point. But I think what Marielle is seeing is, let's face it, everybody wants to sell their goods.
Mm-hmm.
So everybody focuses on their transactional keywords. So it's only natural that regardless of what keywords you type in, everybody wants to send you to the transaction page, even though that's a bad practice because it fails. People want sales, not just people visiting their website. So they think that's the way to do it. People are not following the buyer's journey. They're just building action pages, landing pages, and trying to drive everyone there. And they're all trying to go buy now, buy now, buy now, buy now.
Right.
I mean, what's the biggest thing people sell? You go look out there, everybody's trying to sell everybody funnels. And what's a funnel? It's all about selling something. It has nothing to do with the buyer's journey. Funnels are all about sell, 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 sell.
So buyer's journey and this SGE are not going to help them.
Well, not if they're keywording everything to go to their landing pages where they're trying to sell, 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 sell. And statistically, 3% of your prospect pool is ready to buy. Now you're losing 97% of your traffic by sending them to a page that says buy, 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 because 97% of the people are not ready to buy.
This is all bringing up some very interesting questions and conversations that we'll have later. So let's get back to our buyer's journey pages. And I know from working with a few people that it's not been an easy task for a lot. So let's kind of go around and see where the issues are, and we're going to do our best to resolve them. Who's having issues of how to set up the buyer's journey pages in your website? Bonnie, go ahead.
Well, what do you want me to tell you? What I'm having trouble with?
Sure.
I've been using Bard,
Mm-hmm.
and it comes up very vague, like what Marinella said. And I got very frustrated, and I kept on doing it, over and over. And then it goes to a board when you save it, and I didn't know which was which. I didn't know what was the awareness, what was the what's the next one?
Consideration.
Good consideration.
Consideration, and the buyers. I couldn't tell them all apart. And I didn't know what to ask. You had given me a layout to ask things.
Mm-hmm.
And it wasn't detailed enough.
I can say from experience that the prompt you use in any AI is usually at fault. That means whatever you typed into AI, what did you type in and how did you type it in? In other words, using any kind of brackets or engineer prompt, or what kind of verbiage did you use? Is the action word first? All that stuff matters to AI. So let me ask you, what's the specific prompt that you used for one specific page?
I don't remember. I have it. I have it in the file.
You would also find it in the AI, because it's your question or your statement, whatever you typed in is above whatever article that it spit out. In general, what did you ask?
What is the awareness stage of a brand in New York? Don't mention awareness stage, only mention New York 3 times. That was it.
Okay. Now there are a couple of different ways to write a prompt. And watch in chat. I'll see if I can type something here.
This is why AI has spawned an entire new industry around engineering prompts. It's tends to be more complicated than people realize. It's like learning a new language to get AI to output what you want it to output, the way you want it to output it.
In chat, if you said, I wanted to have an awareness page, which it should have been about the buyer's journey. I should have edited that. You're always talking about the buyer's journey. And the first thing that you're doing in the prompt, however you write your prompt, that action word, it's what do you want it to do? If you're asking a question about what is something, then it's going to provide that answer. But why did you ask the question? Didn't you want it to write a page, write an article? And if you're there to have it write an article, then that should be your first part of the prompt. Write an article. Now we need to say for what it is. And as I stated in there, it's write an article for the awareness, should be an awareness stage. Listening to too many different things at the same time. So generally speaking, this should provide you a page that is just the awareness stage of the buyer's journey, describing SEO. And you could even say stage of the buyer's journey about what is SEO, but I just put SEO. And that's one of those things where you can kind of mess with the prompt that you're having it write. It writes it so fast and so much information, it's not like you're going to spend hours doing that. So ask it this way, we'll ask it that way, change it slightly. But generally speaking, write an article for the awareness stage. There's my main prompt of the buyer's journey included, so it knows that I'm writing more than just the awareness stage. But right now, I just want the awareness stage. And then about what? Could be about voting, could be about SEO, could be about VoIP phones, could be about branding. So when you use that prompt, and I've used that square bracket and then the semicolon at the end, technically, and correct me if I'm wrong, Maury, that's an engineer prompt because it's got those brackets and the semicolon. And anything that you write in there is going to be instructions about what you're wanting AI to do. Now, you can also do that without the brackets in a semicolon. And I would suggest whichever AI that you're using, you try both to see which prompt it responds best to. Because there's no magic bullet. I'm smiling because Maury's going to argue with me on this one. But he'll have his way. When you're trying to get AI to do something, there are a lot of ways to do it. And I think, at least for me, the more times that I try completely different stuff, I get completely different answers. And I'm going, yeah, so which way does this AI like to be prompted? Find out. What I wrote for you guys there in the chat, I'd say that's a really good place to start. And you're always going to be writing articles. You can change awareness to the consideration stage, so you write just that article. And it's of the buyer's journey, and it's about SEO. Now, there's a bunch of videos in YouTube about this guy says, you need to prompt it this way, you need to prompt it that way. And the few that I watched don't say a darn thing about the engineer's prompt. And it's like, there's something going on here. Now, Maury dug deep enough and found that the engineer prompt seems to be the best. But that doesn't mean that you have to do it that way. You could probably, and I've seen some really good results without that specificity. It's just writing that text that you're telling it to do something, that has to be correct. If you're asking it a question, it's going to give you the answer, but it's not going to give you the awareness page or the consideration page or the purchase page because you didn't ask it that. So you have to be very specific on how you write your prompt. Does that all make sense? I'm going to stop there to get feedback. Where are you guys with your buyer's journey pages?
With the bracket, it only goes on one side? It doesn't
No, it's
go
on both.
on both.
If you look at mine, if you look at the beginning and the end of the second one that I put in there, you see the bracket and then the semicolon, ending bracket.
Oh, there it is. It's up front.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you can try it both ways. Trust me, I've done it a whole bunch of different ways. And when I come up with this works 100% of the time for whatever, okay. I would say Marinell has asked about quotes, awareness stage of the buyer's journey from AI output or keep it. Oh, I would definitely keep it. I would definitely write it pretty much like I've got it because you're saying I want a page written. Great. AI's got that part. Now, what are you using it for is the next thing. So, okay, you've told me to do something. What's it for? I need some background. And that's why if you're inside of those brackets, you can provide a bit more information. I think it's a comma. You can even put a period in if you've got a completely different thought that has to do with what you're asking AI. Again, this is something that you have to play with. But I wouldn't strip out the mention of awareness stage of the buyer's journey because I want it written specifically for that page. If I don't tell it that, if I just said I write an article about SEO, well, that's just going to give me an overall idea of SEO.
So let me clarify. The reason I was asking my question is because, we have to balance the needs of or the expectations of the readers with, the search engine's requirements. So it sounds kind of artificial, especially to somebody who's not familiar with marketing, to have those words, that wording in there. So that's why I kind of dither whether to keep it in or, or strip it out and think that the search engine is going to figure out that it's for the awareness stage.
No, the search engine is going to see a page that's written about the awareness stage, even though it doesn't say it in the page or the content anywhere. So if that's what you're asking, do you want to make sure that AI does not write that? The prompt that I have didn't say leave it in or take it out, but it does not, in the pages that I've written, it does not say anything about this is the awareness stage or this is the blah, blah. It just provides that. So for the buyer journey pages, you want them very specific to what Google is saying. Awareness page, consideration page, purchase page. So in order to do that, you have to be specific to the AI to say, what are you doing and what do you want? Is basically what AI is asking. So you need to provide that information. What I'm doing and what I want is blah, blah. So I'm telling you, here's what I want you to do. Here's why I'm having you do it, because I'm working on it. In fact, I had another prompt that somebody used. Let me see if I can go back. And I'll have Kevin go ahead and ask your question while I'm looking for this.
Well, I don't have a question, my friend.
Okay, we have to move on.
Okay. Well, I've written a lot of pages for my new website.
Yeah, yeah.
And just depending on the way you prompt the AI, a lot of the times I got awareness stage actually in the response. But if you twist it around a little bit, or actually then say, please do not include awareness stage in the article, then it removes it. But you have to be careful the way you ask it. Even when you say, hey, I want it for the awareness stage, but don't put awareness stage in your response.
Right. I had two examples after watching some videos in YouTube. One was a guy said, I'm helping, and this is this specific prompt that he wrote into AI. I'm helping my 5th grade son, hyphenated 5th grade, with his science homework, period. Okay, so AI understands what you're working on. I hope everybody's following along with that part. Could you explain quantum physics in a simple way? Question mark. Keep it short. So I think what you should be taking away from this is that's very specific. That person said, here's what I'm doing. Here's what I'm hoping to do. Keep it short. So when you're writing stuff with AI, you want to be as specific as possible. But sometimes a lot of people want to assume that AI is going to do whatever. You can't. You can't assume, well, it understands what I'm trying to get. No, it doesn't. It's waiting for your command. It's a robot. Pick that thing up from the floor. What thing? Well, just that one that kind of looks like a screwdriver. Well, why didn't you say that in the first place? Pick up the screwdriver from the floor. Okay. That was a very short and to the point command. That's the same thing that you want to do with the AI that you're working on your pages. Looking at your debt consolidation, blah, 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 first paragraph, consideration stage of the buyer's journey is a critical phase. Sometimes, and just kind of like Kevin was saying, Marnella, is that if you put the prompt in there a way, you may get that buyer's journey text in your content. And in the way that I put the prompt in to chat with the brackets, you can ask additional questions in there. So what this person said about the quantum physics, and he's helping his son with a science project, technically, from what I understand, that should all be within the brackets, but it's possible that it could work as well without the brackets. But you do have to have that specificity in there. Again, he said, here's what I'm doing, here's what I'm planning, and here's what I want you to do. And keep it short. So in that same thing, if AI wrote you something and it mentioned the buyer's journey, then use the same prompt, but make sure that you say, and do not mention any of the buyer's journey stages.
Yeah, my prompts have been getting longer and longer.
Mm.
Where,
Yes.
I'm talking about headings and
Yep.
keyword density and results and whatever. And one thing that shocked me, maybe it shouldn't have, was that I had included in one prompt to give me 3 relevant external links to include, and it came up with fake articles that didn't exist. I mean, it gave me links, and they put the links on authoritative magazines like Architectural Digest, and it didn't exist. It was, 404.
Completely made up. That's
Yeah.
interesting.
Are you using ChatGPT or what?
I was using ChatGPT for that one. I've also been invited to test the new AI tool that's in beta right now, which may have better results, but I can't talk about it yet. So far, ChatGPT, I really have to make sure I look at it with a fine tooth comb, especially if there are any external references, because as I said, that was blatantly fake. So now I'm suspicious of the output.
Well, again, it goes back to if you said and include some links, that was very generic. Well, you didn't tell me that I need to be specific to is that the links were supposed to go to certain sites. So you would have to be more specificity on what kind of links are you talking about? What kind of links do you want? Where do you have a specific website to which you want me to link, or a specific type of website to which you want me to link? So, and Arthur is saying better off using Bard, but I've tried both. And are you using 3.5 or did you upgrade to 4.0 in ChatGPT, Marnell?
Actually, I'm not sure.
If you're not
I
paying for
haven't
it, then
used
it's
it last
3.5.
week, so
If you're
yeah.
not paying for it, then it's 3.5. You can upgrade, but they charge you for that. Now, Bard is free and there isn't any version. It's just you use Bard. I have found that it's very close to humanized content from Bard than it is chat.
Bard has actually put a new Gemini update in the last month or so, which has made it much better than it was.
In Bard,
Yes, the new
I
Gemini
found
update has made it way better.
the only part that I don't like about Bard, so what I found so far is that it doesn't want me to generate images. So keep trying to find
Pretty
something.
impressive. It's pretty impressive. I've been playing around with it. Chat GPT can be used for certain things, but if you're wanting external information, you're better off using Bard or Bing.
I haven't, well, Bing is ChatGPT, except that you can use four if you use, um, what's their browser?
Edge.
If you use
Edge.
Edge, that's the only way that you can get into a better part of ChatGPT, but it's not called that, I don't think, is it?
No, it's ChatGPT's engine. It doesn't have ChatGPT's front end.
Yeah,
That's why it's not called ChatGPT. It's a different front end.
gotcha. Bonnie, you were asking something. Did you get your question answered?
No, I didn't ask anything.
Oh, okay. So in AI, we know that your prompt is going to be everything. And if you think about how long does it usually take you to write a really good page, I don't think there's anybody who could argue that you can do it faster once you get a good handle on AI. And in the first part of it, you kind of think, well, yeah, but there's that learning curve. I'm saying that I would bet in use of just a couple of hours, you should be able to have had prompted it several different ways to get a good idea of this type of prompt works better than what I started with, or vice versa, whichever you're doing. Once you've figured out the prompts, and trust me on this one, it's different when you're trying to do an image than it is an article. I don't know why, but it is. But writing articles seems to be fairly straightforward, regardless of whether it's ChatGPT or Bard that I've tried. I like it better when it comes out of Bard. So there you go. So the biggest part that anybody is having is actually figuring out how to write in AI. Is that what I'm hearing? Okay. Bonnie, for you, I would suggest that you look at the prompt that I put in there, the second prompt that I put in chat, copy that, and use that as your base, and then just start kind of manipulating things. But whatever kind of prompt that you use and however you start in, whatever AI that you're using, brackets or no brackets, what do you want it to do? It's a machine, so it's not like you have to say please and thank you. And I know some people do. And I was like, talk nasty to it. It doesn't have any feelings. Kevin knows I played with it hard one day. Ask it, tell it, write an article. If that's what you're going to end, if that's your end result, is writing it, having AI write you an article for whatever reason, doesn't make a difference. But if that's what you're asking it to do, the first thing that you're going to type in is write an article. Okay, now AI knows what you want from it. You didn't want it in a car, you didn't want an image, you didn't want a telephone. Write an article. Now you're going to say what you're doing, what it's for. Well, I'm working with Susie's volcano project science project that I have to do for school. And then you can go into whatever else that you want in that article. AI then knows it's a science project about a volcano. And what else do you want it to do? Just write an article about the science project? Okay, you can do that. But the idea is that you're telling it what you want it to do first. Turn yourself upside down, whatever it is. Action, what you're working on, any additions. Does that help you think about a better prompt, Bonnie?
Yeah, I had to put more details in.
Okay.
Maybe a lot more details.
Okay. So who else? You're chomping at the bit there, Kevin.
No, I'm good. I'm listening.
Okay.
Don't try to put me on the spot.
Nope, not on the spot. I was trying to think if you've got questions, now's the time to get them out. Jeff, how about you? You look like you're serious about something.
I'm serious about trying to learn this.
Okay. What point are you at this stage?
New.
Brand new and trying to figure out what you guys are even talking about?
No, new at trying to figure out how to use like Chat GPT and all those things.
And there you go. So that's exactly what we're trying to go over, because I know people are struggling with this, figuring out, well, what do you do with this thing? It's no buttons to push, and there's no settings to try to set it up for the way that you want it to be. It's a matter of telling this robot what you want it to do. And you don't want to get into, well, the sky is blue and I really like it. If you had some mention of, wait, you're going overboard and just chatting with AI. It doesn't want to hear all that. Give me an action. Give me a command. That's really all it is. So when you try to dumb it down to say, okay, I'm just going to give you a command, turn the screen upside down. See what happens. You start typing in silly stuff like that and you get an idea of Oh, it does exactly what I tell it to. I just have to figure out how to tell it what I want. And I think that's where a lot of people are. But for me, I know that articles are the big thing trying to get out there. So I've just been concentrating. I just wanted to spit out an article. So I know that it does respond to write an article and what kind of article, what are you working on, that sort of thing. Does that make sense, Jeff?
Absolutely, yes.
And what page of your website are you working on? What's the subject?
JCS Loan Brokerage, okay, is the website, and that's been built for me, okay, by a company.
Mm-hmm. So pick a page, because your home page, you probably never get it into the top of the search engines. It might be a really nice looking page, but that's not the
Right.
issue. It's got several different subjects on it, so it's not going to be optimized for a particular search. So
Business loans.
So there you go. Write an article for what stage of the journey, and it sounds like you're working on the start. So you need to start with the awareness page. So it's write an article about business loans. Write an article for the awareness stage of the buyer's journey about business loans.
And mortgages. We do mortgages too.
That's another article.
Okay.
So the thing with AI is you're working on one page only at a time, each time that you write a prompt. So that's what gets a lot of websites in trouble, because they're saying, well, I do all these things. Yeah, that's why your homepage won't rank very well. Because it's about this, it's about that, and it's about that, and it's about that. They're all part of my same business, but it's not about one thing. So the other pages of your website need to be about one thing. So if you have loans and you also have, what else did you say?
Home loans and business loans to all small businesses.
Okay. So if you had a page that was about home loans and business loans, to you, it's kind of like, well, it's all about loans. No, they're completely different. So you want that page to be either home loans or business loans. Each of them should be completely different, because a business is looking for something completely different than a person.
Yes.
So don't mix them. And that's exactly what's going on a homepage on probably everybody's site, because it's, well, I do all these things. And the thought process is always, well, people hit my homepage first when they, wait a minute, when have you ever done a search in the search engine and been sent to somebody's homepage?
Number of times.
Crickets. I don't know if anybody's ever done that. I think that I've done it once or twice in 25 years, but it's extremely rare. You would have to have a page, like I know somebody that's going to try that, and it has worked. If your homepage is one subject, there's a good chance that you can get that to the top of search engines. Now, something that's also critical, and I want to make sure it gets in there, and people hear me say this again: local search. And a lot of people go, yeah, but I'm a national business. I don't care. Local search is going to get you started with the momentum that your site needs in authority. If you don't have the authority, you don't get to the top of the search engines, even if the page is all about one thing and it has perfect SEO. You need some authority. You're going to get authority if you have done local search SEO for a page. Then that page has a good chance to get up to the top of the search engines for a local search and you start getting authority because people are starting to come to the site. And if it's done correctly, done well enough, that people spend a minute or two reading it, and that's how you get more authority. Arthur, go ahead.
Oh, nothing. I'm just coughing.
Sorry, what was that? Oh.
Nothing. I just cleared my throat.
Oh, sorry. Anyway, getting that targeting local searches is much easier than national. You could be years before you get up into a national. But if you do local search, you could get up there in a matter of a couple of weeks, maybe 3 weeks.
I got a question.
Yes,
Tom.
go ahead.
Now, if you're doing a local search, the other people that come up, do they have to say that they're local too? Or
in a local search, you will find locals. And if you found a national, it's because somewhere in their article, they have identified them as being local so that it triggered the search results. But generally speaking, you're going to find only local results. Doesn't mean it's guaranteed, but that's the general idea. Now, let me turn that back on you guys. Who, especially among the newer people, does not get local? You're not clear on that. You don't know why you would use local. Questions on that? It's kind of the path that we're going down, Kevin.
Yeah.
Just taking all the stuff that's there, and now I'm going to start pushing you to get the pages for local search. Hopefully the buyer's journey are already done. I haven't read any of them. So Bonnie, that's the same thing. You want to get, it's not a matter of I'm only selling or I'm falling back to only sell to these. No, that's not it at all. You can continue to do your business however you've done it, but you need Google to give you some authority so that you start coming up in a lot of searches. The only way to get authority is to start getting the traffic from search results. So you need to target a local search keyword term. That way, if it's done really well, you'll get up in that local search fast and you can start getting traffic, and you will then start getting authority for your page and for the website. If you don't have authority, you just go nowhere. You're always way back in the search engines and you never get any traffic unless you're using an ad campaign. And also, I haven't heard anybody say this, but how do you put the pages of the buyer journey into your website?
Very carefully.
You got cut off. Go ahead, Kevin.
Nothing. Go ahead.
Anybody want to guess at that?
yeah, you ask a web developer to do it.
Why? That's a good question for anybody that owns a site. Why?
Hit me with the question again, my friend.
How do you get the pages for the buyer's journey into your website?
Have the developer do it.
That's what she said.
Okay, so
all right. So let me ask the both of you. It's too difficult for you guys to write the article, or since it's already been written by AI, to copy and paste that into a page?
No, I've already done them, but we don't want them displayed on the homepage.
On any page, on
any page,
on anywhere in the site.
Right.
The buyer's journey pages should not be accessible to visitors to your site. But very simply, they are still pages of your site. You create them the same way you create any other page.
And how do you get from your landing page, your awareness or whatever page, how do they get from there to your site?
The awareness page, consideration page, and the purchase page for the buyer's journey, 3 pages, all 3 of those pages link to, excuse me, to your your purchase page. You with me so far? Just like in the image that I sent across. And if anybody doesn't have that, let me know. I'll throw that back in there in a second. So those 3 pages already link to the purchase page. And you have absolutely no reason in the world to display those pages in your website so that visitors that came a different way would be able to find them. There's no reason for that. You don't know what stage they're in, so you can't say, okay, here's that stage. If they're in the awareness stage and they searched something and you've done the page the right way, they have found it in the search results. They click on that, they're in your site reading the awareness page. From the awareness page, they can go to the consideration page, or they could go directly to the purchase page. Chances are they're going to want to go to the consideration stage so they can go, okay, what's the next stage? Well, stage 2, consideration. And you're going to give them good information on the consideration stage page.
But how do you get to the main website from there?
Anytime they hit that purchase stage, the purchase page, they're in your main pages of your website. And any of those pages is the main, but they're not linked to other pages in your site. You don't want people to go to them. You want people to come from them, from those buyer journey pages, and they're going from them to your purchase page. If they don't ever get to the purchase page because they just went to the awareness and then to the consideration stage, and then they abandon the site. If they're in their consideration stage, you can't very well say, all right, well, I'm going to show you the purchase stage. Well, I'm not there yet. I don't want to see that. They read what they wanted. They got the awareness. They said, okay, got it. Oh, that makes a lot of sense. Consideration. Oh, and I see you're comparing these 2 or 3 packages. Great. That makes sense. I'm going to go think about it. How many times have you purchased something and you said, I got to go think about it? Everybody does it, and every salesperson hears it. Well, I got to go talk to my wife, or I got to go talk to my husband, it's a given. Don't expect that just because they hit the awareness stage and the consideration stage that they're going to purchase. But you have those pages set up so that the people can go further. And it's easy for them to do that just by clicking a button and okay, they're in that next stage. So the buyer's journey pages are not necessarily trying to get the traffic to go to all the pages in your site as soon as they hit that awareness page. The buyer's journey is a very specific method. You're going to get them interested in the details. Awareness. They're learning about whatever it was that they searched. They're not interested in buying yet. They're just on the awareness stage. So you don't want to talk to them about that. And you don't want to take their attention away by allowing them to click and say, well, I'm in the middle of this paragraph. Oh, maybe I'll go check out this page. People will try that. No, I just want you to understand this part. So I'm not giving you the access to all the other pages. You wanted this. That's what came up in the search, and you're reading that. Does that make sense, Bonnie?
I understand that, but I guess I'm kind of focused on this one question. How do they get to your main website?
From the purchase page.
There will be a link?
All of the buyer's journey pages link to the purchase page.
Yes, but on the purchase page, how do you get from there to the website?
That's the typical page in your website. It's got your menu wherever your menu resides in the rest of the pages of your website.
Oh, that's what I didn't know. Okay.
So the purchase page, after they've gone 1, 2, 3, they're on the purchase stage, which is your purchase page. We're now calling that the action page. It's where they take action, where they could purchase if that's what they're ready to do. Or maybe they get to that page and they realize, well, let me go check out the other pages of the site first. That's their prerogative. But you walked them through, they did exactly what you had them, wanted them to do, and then they decided to do something different. There's nothing you can do to control that. So for those who have not downloaded that, there's an extremely simplified version of the buyer's journey. You see the 3 pages, and they are linked. That's what the arrows are showing you, linked to each other, and then they are linked to the purchase page, the action page, where they can make a purchase. They could click on something to go someplace else. It's where they take action. Thanks, Arthur. So once they have that information, or once you have got your pages there, they can go wherever they need. If the pages are well enough and they were just kind of on the verge of purchasing, then by the time they go through all the 3 pages, they'll probably go, okay, yeah, I'm ready. The pages are done well. Or they could just go to some other page site. Sorry, what?
Did you see Sandy's question a little farther up?
I didn't, but I'm looking now. Only local 3D printing company in our community.
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah.
How can I get expanded to the other nearby areas? Sandy, it's all about local. So whatever area, let me back that up. If you do business in a small community, then you use that term as part of your text. Make sure that people know that community. If it's a county or a city in a particular county, whatever it is, that's local. Sandy, can you come on for a second? Okay, maybe she's taking a break. Are you with us, Sandy?
Yeah, I'm here. Sorry.
There you go.
Having some issues.
There you go.
Yeah, so we're in a small city, and we're pretty well known there. We're just trying to expand our horizons. Would it be smart to add the other counties in like some of our SEOs?
Yes. In the footer of your pages, do you state your address?
Yes.
Good. And what's the city?
We're up in Shelton, Washington.
Oh, Mason County.
Yeah.
I just gave you the answer.
So okay, awesome.
You're covering all of Mason County.
Yeah, and we got really lucky.
Because you're 3D printing, I would say that you also want to go into Thurston.
Yeah, we do a lot of business down in Thurston. We just trying to expand our webpage down there. So of course, a lot of networking and in-person stuff. But
grew up there, so I know all about that. But the idea is that you're in Mason, so you want to start peppering Mason County. In other words, in the footer, you've got Shelton, and that's very specific, and that's very small. So all 3 of those people have probably already purchased and become clients.
Yeah.
So in that, below your address, you can say something like serving the following counties: Mason County, Thurston County. And I don't know if you want to go into Pierce, but that's up to you. You could say, if you're thinking, I want to go as far up as Tacoma, okay, include Pierce.
Okay, I get it.
So even though it's just in the footer, if I were you, I'd then be creating pages that talk about your business. You can even do the AI generated pages. If you're talking about the buyer's journey pages, I would create different sets. A set for here's my business in Thurston County in the awareness stage. Here's my business in Pierce County in the awareness stage. And you get where I'm going?
Yeah, so exactly.
Each set of the buyer's journey stages, those 3 pages, can be, this is for Mason County, another set that's for, this is for Thurston County, another set that this is for Pierce County.
Mm-hmm.
So they come up locally. And you can even refine that by saying, you're already in Shelton, so everybody would know Mason County. It's not that much of a stretch to just say Mason. Mm-hmm. You get 3 more people in town.
Yeah.
And then when you go to Thurston, I would start saying stuff like Olympia, Tumwater. You know, you could name those cities. So when people mm-hmm. search for 3D printing Tumwater, bang, you come up.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah, definitely. That makes a lot of sense.
Search does. And
awesome.
that provides that authority. You start doing those local searches and people come because they're searching that stuff and they found your business. Great. You got authority and you're getting business. The win-win.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for answering that question.
Yeah, and get in touch if you have more questions about how to specify all that stuff.
Okay, sounds great.
And there is a new message apparently. Buyer's journey pages are hidden on the website. How does SEO work? That is a good question. SEO has nothing to do with what a visitor can see. Everybody with me on that?
Because Google sees all, right?
Google and Google bots are the reason that you apply SEO. Who sees that? Google and the Google bots. We don't care about visitors not seeing the SEO. They're going to see the text. That's all they care about. And all you care about is that the page is done properly so that it comes up high in the search engines. And if you target local searches, it's very simple to get up in those search engines, to get to a good position in the top 10. But if you're, I hate to say it, but if you're hell-bent on doing national, you're going to be 20, 30, 500 pages back because you need authority to be able to get some ranking in national searches. And the way that you get that authority is doing the local search, target the local search. Over time, you can say, let me back up. In the beginning, I would put every page in your website targeting local searches on a new website and different areas so that you can cover a wide area. There is no limit to the number of pages you can have on your website. So add more pages, add more buyer's journey pages. If you're going, yeah, but I'm actually got over 100 pages now, that's a teeny tiny site in Google's eyes. I'm not kidding either. If your website is thousands of pages, you have Google's attention now. And you did it all because you're writing pages because you've got that much content that you can get out there. Great. Google's happy, visitors are happy, and you're making bank.
Hey, Thomas, so I can speak to Samantha's question or comment for a second?
Okay. Yeah.
The buyer journey pages are not in the menu. So no, they're not accessible via the menu, but they're also not hidden because they're connected together with anchor text. And that's how Google's able to see how the pages are related to each other. Mm-hmm. So you might want to explain what anchor text is, where it's just, you know, certain words in an article that are linked to another page. That's how everything is chained together. And Google can see that. It follows that anchor text.
The anchor text being that if you're mentioning something about the a different page, something about the content. Let's say that you have I was trying to think, what's your business, Samantha?
I'm a death doula.
Sorry, what was that?
Death doula.
Oh,
end of life doula.
Okay,
yeah.
So if you have a specific procedure that you mentioned in one page, but it actually is explained well on another page, then the text that mentions that other page with the good content on it, that's a link. You're going to link from page A to page B. That's called a hyperlink or text link or whatever you want to call it.
Right.
In your industry, we just say it's a link. So you're linking to it.
I think a good example, Thomas, is Jeff when he was talking about mortgages and loans. If he's writing an article on loans and mention the word mortgage, you could link the word mortgage to his mortgage page. And that would be an anchor text that joins the two pages together, just to give you an example of how that works.
Right. Jeff's soaking that in. He's going to do that. I see it in his eyes.
So it may be just a matter of nomenclature, but I built my website on Squarespace, and they reference hidden pages. So, you know, the ones that are menu items and the others are called hidden. So they're not really hidden then, right?
No, what you want to be careful is they're not orphaned, because if there's no anchor text joining that page to the rest of the site, then it's orphaned.
Yeah.
It's only hidden because it's not in the menu. So yes, that's just a nomenclature. You're correct.
Okay. Good.
Yeah.
Then I'm on board then. Thanks.
Okay.
And then back to what Bonnie was concerned with, when you have any page in your website that is not linked from another site, another page in your site, it doesn't mean it doesn't exist like all the other pages. It just means that you're not linking to it. If there is a link from that page to one of your main pages in your website, you've done everything that Google is asking you to do. And you're just keeping those pages away from somebody happening upon them. They're very specific pages, the buyer's journey pages. So you don't want people to just happen upon them. You have no idea if they searched something similar to that, or if they searched about cats and dogs and they came to your site. Somehow they found your site in a search of cats and dogs. So you still don't want to serve them those buyer journey pages because you have no idea what they're looking for. Let them go through whatever other pages, and then they go, oh, wait, this site isn't about dogs and cats at all. You didn't want them there because they're not looking for a brand. So that's okay if that person leaves. We don't know how they got there. They didn't find what they wanted. That's fine. They're gone. But that page is not really truly hidden. It's not even obscured. It's just done in a method that works for the people who are going to use them. Does that make more sense, Bonnie?
I'm fading.
You're fading? Okay. Getting that time of day, I get that. I must start having meetings at 6 o'clock in the morning so you can attend.
Nice.
I end up pushing you all the time because this is your time limit. Okay, I'm done for the day. Sorry.
Tom, what time zone are you in?
Who knows? I'm in some obscure planet. I'm in Pacific, so I'm West Coast, Washington
West Coast.
State. Yep.
Yeah. Okay. I'm on the East Coast.
Yeah, most of the people I deal with are back there, except for some odd people who are down in Sacramento area, San Jose, North Bay area.
Come on, if you're gonna throw darts at me, at least hit the target.
Yeah, but it irritates you if I don't be specific to you and your area. Anyway, any question before we go today? Because it went a little bit over, but I think it's what we're touching on now is extremely important. But I'm just saying that it's a lot faster to learn the intricacies of using AI than it is to learn all the intricacies to make SEO work on your pages like you want. So that's why I'm saying, and I jumped on the bandwagon with the buyer's journey pages things last year, saying, folks, even though it's difficult to understand how to prompt AI, what you're getting is far superior content, and it writes it so much faster than you'll ever write it. And the time it takes to figure out how to write the articles well enough is still a lot faster and a lot less expensive than trying to apply SEO and learning SEO to apply it yourself, or hiring somebody for that matter. I bet that I would get a lot of laughs if I said, so who's willing to spend $10,000 on SEO right now?
Kevin, your hand's not up.
Jeff turned me off. Samantha is thinking about laughing. Everybody else is dead silent. It's just crickets. I know.
Yeah,
That's why I'm
sure.
saying. That's why I got on the bandwagon about the buyer's journey. Yeah, I'm an SEO guy, but I'm also looking for ways to help you guys. This isn't a SEO, Tom, come and pay me a bunch of money and I'm not going to tell you anything. That's what you get from other developers. So there you go. I'm trying to teach and make sure that you guys understand and learn the stuff that's actually going to help you instead of dragging it on year in, year out. That's it. And Happy New Year, you guys.
What?
That's it. That's all I got for this week. We'll be ready
Happy New Year, Tom. Happy New Year to everybody.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Happy New Year to you.
Same to everybody too.
Happy New Year to you.
2024. You have to remember to write that now. That's always the hard part.
Oh, I try to just make something automated. So here, put the date in for me. I forget. The first 2 or 3 months, I'm always writing the 2 years ago. Oh, wait, that's wrong. But take it easy, guys. I'll see you next week. Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thanks, Tom.